This video is made possible by North Naperville Autos. If you're looking for a quality used car in the Chicagoland area, North Naperville Autos is here to help. Browse their inventory at northnapervilleautos.com and drive home in a new vehicle today. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2012 Audi Q5 Quattro. Up front is a 2.0 liter turbocharged inline 4, and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now I'm super excited to be driving this here Q5 for two reasons. First of all, I've never done a Q5 before. I've done a Q3 and I've done a Q7, so this fits right perfectly in between those two. And the second reason is that on one of my recent videos, someone asked, hey, can you do a Q5? And so I am here to deliver. But before we get on with the rest of the video, if you are looking to help out the channel, there are a couple links in the description below from our awesome sponsors. One of which is Cash for Cars if you're looking to sell your used car. One is from Fixed, a Bluetooth OBD2 sensor to help diagnose your vehicle, and another from Conplates. Conplates is a suction cup license plate mount for your vehicle in case you don't want to drill into your front bumper. Each purchase or quote goes towards helping the channel, and it's greatly appreciated, so let's get on with the video. So let's get back to that 2.0 liter turbocharged inline 4. Well, Volkswagen Group, because Audi is owned by Volkswagen, uses this engine in so many different cars, with minor tweaks here and there. It makes 211 horsepower and 258 foot-pounds of torque, which isn't a small amount of horsepower. It's a nice solid power delivery, but again, nothing to knock your socks off, especially in these larger application vehicles. I like the overall feeling of the engine. I've driven it in so many different vehicles that there's not really a whole lot to say. Not too bad. Definitely has that power. You're going to be able to pass people pretty comfortably in this car, and I like that a lot, especially given the fact that this is the 4-cylinder. You could also get a 6-cylinder V6 in this body style, but of course this is only the 4. Last but not least, this is the Quattro, meaning it has all-wheel drive, Audi's Quattro system, but you still can find Q5s from this era with front-wheel drive. So if you prefer front-wheel drive or want to get a more base model Q5, that's what you're going to get. With that out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a bunch of gauges. On the left is my coolant temperature. Then I have my tachometer. In the center, I get a little screen with my odometer, engine hours, speed, all that information. And on the right, I have my speedometer and fuel. Moving on to the steering wheel, on the left, I have my control for that center little gauge screen, as well as my mode button. And on the right, I have my volume and voice commands. The steering wheel itself is nice and presentable. I think it looks fairly modern for being 10 years old at this point. I like the little Audi badge in the center with the sort of ring going around the outside. To the left of me, I do have a couple of headlight switches, gauge dimmer switches, fog lights, things like that. And on the door, I have my lock and unlock, power mirrors as well as heated mirrors, power windows, and my child locks. Moving into the center, we do have a little infotainment screen, so let's pull over and we'll talk about it. So here is the infotainment screen in the Audi Q5 from 2012. It is not a touch screen, and I also do not get a backup camera for 2012. But down below, we'll talk about in a second, I have these physical buttons I can select through here, so we can go to car, we can look at the oil level, central locking, instrument cluster. Let's see what oil level has to offer. Oh, I guess nothing right now. Tire pressure monitoring, windshield wipers, vehicle ID number, instrument cluster. I can turn on speed warning, onboard computers, things like that. I can also go to my AM, FM settings, so I can tune and scroll here. I can also go to satellite, Sirius. This car does not currently have a subscription. I can also go to my media, no CD or SD card inserted. Setup, and I also have my phone options. Pretty simple, basic infotainment system here. Like I said, no backup camera, no touch screen, pretty basic. Then I have two climate control vents and my radio controls. So this says Audi Concert, I guess is the name of their audio controls for some weird reason. I assume it's the name of the whole system, which is funny because in the 90s, Buick had the Concert Sound 2. But anyway, I get a bunch of AM, FM, satellite media, telephone, aux, and these are hotkeys for the radio as well. So if I hit car, it's going to take me to the car screen in the radio that we talked about earlier. Then I have my climate controls I really like this Volkswagen feature of the knobs do multiple things. So you select what the knob will do, and then you can adjust it from there. Like the fan speed, location, and auto is all ran off the same knob, just different settings on that knob, if that makes sense. But besides that, climate control is pretty basic, dual zone, which is very nice. And down below, I have an ashtray with the cigarette lighter. Moving on to the shifter feels good. It has this nice, satisfying clunk when you put it into gear. And I can plus minus if I'd like, and there is a sport mode as well. Then I have my power parking brake. Nothing really too crazy there. And I have my traction control off and my hill descent control button. Then I do have cup holders, so we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the Q5, and it passes. It passes the big freaking bottle test, which is just fantastic. It passes with pretty much ease too. It almost looks like it's form fitted for the big freaking bottle, which is fantastic. Then we get a center console, and we'll talk about the seats. Now, in this particular Q5, I don't get heated seats or any sort of amenities like that, but the seats are nice and comfortable. I think they look very presentable, and for being 10 years old, 80,000 miles, I think they've held up relatively well. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2012 Audi Q5, and first of all, tons and tons of space back here. I mean, really, really great amount of space for a vehicle in this segment. You know, I always think of like Mazda CX-5s, RAV4s, CR-Vs, that sort of size vehicle when I think of Q5s, and this is better than those cars. Plenty of space back here. I also get 2 climate control vents. I get a 12-volt outlet, which is nice. And I do get a center console here that I can pop out these little cup holders if I would like. Very strange looking, alien looking cup holders, but cup holders nevertheless. I get like a little map light up here, which is nice that each individual occupant back here gets their own light. Big deal. But let's go take a quick look at the cargo space around back, and then we'll talk about the looks. So we're on the back of the Q5. I do have a button here on the key fob, but it's not actually a power lift gate. Once we are back here, we get this nice privacy cover that can fold up, and we get plenty of rear cargo space, again on par with other vehicles in this segment. I get a 12-volt outlet over here, which I always look for in SUVs. I think that's really important, as well as I do have these manual pull tabs, not that swinging one, but that one and that one, to lower the second row of seats, which is, again, super nice. I also have this little openable thing, and we can go down here, pull this up. That's our space saver, as well as a quote-unquote subwoofer, but it's just an added speaker. So we can put that down. There you are. That's the back of the Audi Q5. I also think it's funny that you have to have lights on non-moving surfaces on the back of vehicles. So Audi, for some reason, puts the main taillights on top of here, but then they have to have these too. So your flashers will actually be these lights if your tailgate is up. I think it's kind of interesting. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I've always thought that Audis from this era are rather handsome, and the Q5 is no exception to that rule. I think it looks nice. I think it looks luxurious and presentable, and I just don't think it looks super exciting. When I see one on the road, it doesn't quite snap my neck trying to look at it, but you know what? That's okay. And so let's get to my final thoughts here on the Q5. What do I think now driving Audi's mid-segment SUV? Well, let's think of what this was compared to. It's an upscale version of Toyota RAV4, Mazda CX-5, Honda CR-V. It feels to be that sort of size. And for vehicles in that segment, this definitely feels like an upscale version of those. The materials in here feel very nice. They feel solid. The interior design is still fairly modern, even though it's 10 years old. If I was told this was a 2017, I would believe it. I don't really see many issues here with the Q5 besides my prior knowledge of Audis and Volkswagens tend to have high maintenance costs. But then again, I've driven more Audis and Volkswagens over 200,000 miles than a lot of other brands. So it might be expensive, but it might be worth it. I do think that this is the perfect size SUV as well. I think the Q7 was a little large for my taste. Although you do get that third row, it was still a little bit big for me. And the Q3 is literally a lifted Volkswagen Jetta. It actually shares a platform with it. So at the end of the day, I think out of the Audi SUVs, S models, of course. I did do an SQ7, and that's not even in the same league. I think I would take the Q5, something to live with, someone who doesn't have a family at the moment, and I don't see a family happening in the next couple of years. A younger person, it's just me and my girlfriend. I don't know. I think that this is really the perfect size of SUV, and I have plenty of amenities in here. I would probably try to seek one out with heated seats. That's probably just the fact that it's 33 degrees Fahrenheit today, so I guess I miss it more today than usual. But overall, if you're looking to buy one of these, of course, with any car, just try to find one with the lowest mileage possible. If it has up-to-date maintenance records, that's great. That's always a bonus. But I think these things are really, really solid. Huge thank you to North Naperville Autos for letting me take out their Q5. I'm so thankful that they've given me the opportunity to fill the gap in Audi's SUV lineup. They are absolutely awesome. This is one of their used vehicles for sale, but they have tons of cool and interesting cars for sale on their lot. They do offer financing, as well as they are a Carfax certified dealer, which is just fantastic. If you're looking for a used car in the Chicagoland area, North Naperville Autos should be your first stop. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.